Hi everybody, I'm Blair, a Grandmaster support main who one-trick Soraka from Masters to Grandmaster last season. In this video, I'll show you my current favorite Soraka build and explain how the build works. For reference, I've been a big fan of Luminum's Skinny Soraka build, and it's honestly the reason why I love playing Soraka in the first place. If you're not familiar with Lumi's Skinny Soraka build, basically it's using runes and items that can speed you up so that you can be skinny and not die. The core build being Nimbus Cloak and Celerity for your runes, and prioritizing Boots of Swiftness and Shirelias for your items. Here's a sample clip of how amazing the Skinny Soraka build is.
Hello! Well,
I can run.
I can run too.
I can love. I can reach the heavens above. I can write what is wrong.
Pag ikaw nalapitan yan, ayun na! Ayun na!
Of course, coming into Season 14 with the item changes, I know that the Skinny Soraka build is definitely affected, especially since Shirelias is gutted. It's dead, I fear. Here's the difference between the old Shirelias and the new Shirelias. Basically, you don't get the passive movement speed from healing and shielding anymore, and just get the burst movement speed upon using the item. The additional movement speed is now back to Staff of Flowing Water, but instead of 20% additional movement speed, it's only 10%. But at least you also get some additional AP with that. Because of this, I thought maybe the Skinny Soraka build is still alive, but instead of Shirelias, we're now going to rush Staff of Flowing Water. So I did just that. For my first experiment, I ran the same runes, and this is my item build. You go Boots of Swiftness for your first item, then Solstice Slave for your ward item. This support item is for additional movement speed every time you land your Qs, Staff of Flowing Water for the passive movement speed, Shirelias for the burst movement speed. That's basically the core build. And then Dawncore, Redemption, or any other flex items as your follow-up items. This build is not bad, however, it's very expensive. The only reason why I was able to hit all of these items is because we dominated bot lane. If this is any of my normal SD games, the game probably ended by the time I hit my second item or before I finish my third. Basically, this build is bad because I didn't feel like I was skinny enough to always have an impact in the game and or while roaming. My second experiment is almost the same but prioritizing Moonstone for my second item after Staff of Flowing Water. Basically, the runes are the same, but the item build is a bit different. This is my item build. Boots of Swiftness for your boots, Dreammaker for your ward item for protection and damage, Staff of Flowing Water for the passive movement speed, and Moonstone for impact heals. From here, you flex based on what your team needs. With this build, I realized that for this season, Moonstone is probably Soraka's best early game power spike. Here's a clip of me using this build. Girl. I thought this build will be my go-to. However, upon playing a couple of SD games, I felt like it's not as effective. I feel like my heals were too weak and I'm not the same Skinny Soraka that I used to love. Which leads us to my third experiment, and honestly, right now, is the best Soraka build for me. The runes are the same, but the item build is completely different. We go Boots of Swiftness for your boots, Dreammaker for your ward item. This is honestly the best Enchanter ward item right now for additional protection and more damage for your team, and of course primarily your carry. First item would always be Moonstone for your early game power spike, and finally, the last core item is Dawncore. Now, you might ask me, why build Dawncore immediately? Isn't it a late game item? Well, in theory, that's true. However, since you're building Enchanter items and every single item that you have so far has mana regen, this just boosts your healing and shielding by a lot. Think of it like Rabadon's but for Enchanters. It's currently 2 OP. Basically, you get more healing the more mana regen you have. And by the time you hit Dawncore, you already have 350% mana regen, which means you get 10.5% additional healing and shielding power plus 18.5 AP from Dawncore's first light alone. Not to mention that your summoner spells will also get CD reduction. For your next items, you just adjust based on what your team needs. I either go Redemption for more healing or Morello if you need anti-heal. But honestly, I almost always go Redemption because your healings, even with just Dawncore, is super strong already. Here's a sample gameplay on how strong this build is. The best part is, even when the enemies use anti-heal, your healing is still super strong. Wala, she left my redemption.
Bruh.
Oh, I got the kill. Oh, hit kita. Go! Hiya! Ah, diba? Full health Tiana. Yup.
I'm dying.
Yup. 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 And here's a clip showing how much you can heal from afar to bait enemies with your ult. Goodbye, Draven. Oh my god, did you see my heal? The Akali half health? Oh, I can't chase her. She was almost dead and then she almost full health. I support death. Even though we got... Oh shit! She really wants my Sarakusi. I'm a run. Oh. But I didn't need to run away quick this game. I just have to heal. In conclusion, I feel like the Skinny Soraka build that I love is still somehow alive, but in order to be effective in the game now, the girlies have to sacrifice some skinniness for additional healing. I only really just use the Skinny Soraka runes, but personally for the items, I prioritize additional healing now. Overall, Soraka is still an S+ tier support pick for this season if you know how to play her well, and I hope using this guide can help you girlies climb faster. How about you? What do you think is the best Soraka build for Season 14? Let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you so much for watching this video, and if you enjoy this type of content, make sure to subscribe and like the video. I will totally appreciate it, and of course, it will greatly help the channel grow so we can spread the cuntivity. You can also follow me on Twitch and join me when I'm live if you want to see this build in action. As always, remember to always choose kindness. Bye!